Now we'll see define sole proprietorship and state its features. Sole proprietorship, according to James Stephenson, a sole trader is a person who carries on business exclusively by and from and for himself. He is not only the owner of the capital of the undertaking, but it is usually the organizer and manager and takes all the profits of responsibility for losses. So what is the meaning of this sole proprietorship? According to the definition of Stephenson, what do we have understand here? That sole proprietor is nothing but a single person who is organizing the business. He only the person who takes the risks of the business. He manages the whole business. So a single person plays a very important role here in the sole proprietorship. And according to J.I. Hansen, a type of business. It is a business sole proprietor, a type of business unit where one person is solely responsible for providing the capital and bearing the risk of the business and for the management of the business. So according to J.L. Hansen definition, what we have to understand here, that he is saying that the capital, the amount which is invested into the business, called as capital. So here only a single person is giving the capital to the business and he is managing the risk and he is taking care of the whole business. So capital is contributed by the single person in the sole proprietorship. And in a so what we have to understand according to these two definitions is that in a sole proprietorship business, a single person start a business. Only one person will be there to start the business, manage and control all the activities of the business. What are the activities of a business? A business activities are that we have to purchase the raw material, we have to convert into them. If it is a industry, it is sole proprietor started industry, small business, so whatever it may be. So what we will do, he is purchase and he sold the activities, he manufacture whatever the activities are there in the business. The whole activities are taken over by the sole proprietor only and he control all the activities by himself only. So and takes the responsibility and of the result of the activity of the business. It is the traditional form of business organization. Actually the sole proprietor business is the traditional form of the business. It is also known as single entrepreneurship or individual proprietorship, also we called it as. Now we'll see the features of the sole proprietorship. The various features of the sole proprietorship as follows. Individual initiative. First you write all the headings, then elaborate each of them. So what are the 10 features of the sole proprietor? Individual initiative, single ownership, less legal formalities, unlimited liability, ownership and management, motivation, secrecy, no separate entity, one man area of operation. Now we'll discuss each point. In individual initiative, in case of sole proprietor business, a single person bear the complete losses and enjoy all the profit of the business. Individual initiative means sole proprietor, only an individual person is there. So he started in the business. So he is investing the capital by himself only, and whatever the amount in return after selling the product, whatever the profit he is getting, he alone is taking the enjoyment of that profit. If losses are there, he only bearing the losses of. So next is single ownership. In sole proprietor business, a single person owns the complete business. He or she start the business by gathering all the necessary resources. So whatever the resources are required for the business in the sole proprietor business, he or she can start that business, and all the resources are collected by himself or herself only. So single ownership will be there here. Less legal formalities. If you compare the sole proprietorship business with the partnership and joint stock company, later we will study about this. So here formalities, according to Partnership Act they have to, according to Companies Act they have to follow the rules and regulations to set up the company. But here in the case of sole proprietor, no legal formalities are required. Individual with his own capital can start the business at any place at any time. So less legal formalities are involved in the formation of sole proprietor business. Therefore formation becomes simple and very easy task here. Unlimited liability. Now what is the unlimited liability? You will find this in the short also, unlimited liability. So liability means the payment we have to pay to the outside. We have seen it to the accounts. Liabilities is nothing but payment to the outsiders. So what is happening in the sole proprietor business? The liabilities, if it is shutting down the business, if he has to pay the amount to the outsider party, if the amount is sufficient, whatever he has invested into the business, the capital is not sufficient to pay the amount to the outsider, then his personal property is liable. That is called as unlimited liability. Personal property, he has sold his personal property and he has to pay the debt of the business. That is called as unlimited liability. Ownership and management in sole proprietorship business, a sole trader not only owns but also manage his or business. If you see the joint stock company, the owner, the shareholders of the companies are different and the directors of the companies are the different who is taking the decision of the companies. But in the case of sole proprietor, the owner and the manager one and the same only. Motivation. The sole proprietor being a single owner enjoys all the profit and bear the losses if any. This motivates the proprietor to work more and further expand the business activity. So what is happening here? Motivation means a sole proprietor, whatever the profit he is getting into the business, he is enjoying. So what he will do more hard work. As he is doing more hard work, he is earning more profit. So this motivate him to enjoy the more profit and to do the business for a long time. Now secrecy. The sole proprietor maintains all the secrets with himself or herself. The business secrets are important for a small business to grow and to avoid competitions. So secrecy can be maintained in, if you compare it with the partnership, in partnership different part, a small decision if they have to take, everything have to discuss with among the partners. But in the case of sole proprietor, he can take his own decision, he can make it secret. So to run a business successfully, the secrecy of the business is most important. So that is can be maintained in the sole proprietorship. No separate entity. Sole proprietor business has no separate legal entity. Sole trader and sole trading business are one and the same. So this, if you compare in the joint stock company, a company is an artificial person. In joint stock company, if you start a company of joint stock, so shareholders are the owner, actually artificial. This company name is the legal entity, separate legal entity. So whatever the process we are doing into the joint stock company, according to the company's name we are doing there. But here legal entity, no separate entity is required to the sole proprietor business. The person by his name itself only can start the business. So one man, sole proprietor business is managed and controlled by a single person only. Only one man is there to manage and control the whole business. And area of operation, the area of operation of sole proprietor business limited, as sole proprietor has limited resources and managerial capability. So in the sole proprietor business, what is area of operation is limited. Area of operation is will be limited because if only single person is bringing the capital into the business, so maybe the capital is less. So because of this, the area of operation is less, and the sole proprietor has limited resources to manage the capability, and managerial capability is also limited because only one person is taking the whole business. Production department, his finance department, whatever the different departments and sale activities, everything he is only dealing with that. So because of this limited resources, area of operation is also limited in the case of sole proprietorship. Now let's see the next topic. Write the advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorship. You may get the question in this way also. Write the merits and demerits of sole proprietorship. So whenever the direct question of advantages and disadvantages is given, first you have to write the definition and meaning of the sole proprietorship. Then after that you have to start the advantages of sole proprietorship. Already I have discussed in the previous session. So from there you write down the meaning of that. Then you start from here. Advantages of sole proprietorship. Some of the advantages of sole proprietorship are as follows. Easy to form and wind up. Sole proprietorship business is simple to form because very less legal formalities are required to be fulfilled here. The sole trader at the formation of the business, sole trader can wind up business at any time she wants. So easy to form and wind up with a sole proprietor business are no required of legal formalities like Companies Act, Partnership Act will be there. No, so lot of formalities they have to fulfill to start a company, but that is not required in the case of sole proprietor. And winding up also easy in the proprietor, as the business, whenever he wants he can wind up the business. It is own decision of the person to wind up the company. No legal formalities are required for that. And quick decision and prompt action. Here there is, in the partnership business, they have to a single decision they have to discuss with among the partners, then only they can implement that. But in the case of sole proprietor business, quick decision and prompt action. Now next topic is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorship? This question it may ask like that also. Merits and demerits of sole proprietorship. So before writing these advantages of sole proprietorship, you have to write the meaning and definition of it. I have discussed in the previous class. You can see that. And now we will start advantages of sole proprietorship. Some of the advantages of sole proprietorship are as follows. Easy to form and wind up. So in the case of sole proprietorship business, The formation is very easy. There are no legal formalities are required like Partnership Act and joint stock company. They have to follow the rules of Companies Act. That is not requirement. That is not required in the case of sole proprietorship. So it is very easy to form this business. And winding up also easy. This is the own decision of the sole proprietor to wind up the business whenever he wants. Quick decisions and prompt action. So in the case of sole proprietorship, the person only single person is taking his own decisions. So what happened in the Partnership Act, whatever the small decision they have to discuss among the partners, then only it will be implemented. But in the case of sole proprietor business, single person is taking the decision. So quick decision is possible here, and prompt action also can be taken place here. So it helps the business to enlarge it. Flexibility in operation. So whatever the operation according to the season, if the single sole proprietor is running a business which is depend on the season of that, then what will happen, flexibility will be there. It can change, it can flexible. That means easily it can switch to the other business also. There are no legal requirements are there, and the capital investment is less here, so it can easily be flexible. Flexibility is possible here. Now next we'll see direct motivation. In the sole proprietor trader, directly the owner of the business person who enjoy the complete profit of the business. So the complete profit is taken by the sole proprietor. No, so that profit encourage him to do more work, and efficiently and effectively he is doing the work directly, because as the profit increases he can expand his business. So what we'll do, direct motivation helps him to take the decision, prompt decision, and do the work in an effective manner. Next, maintenance of business secrets. Here in the sole proprietor business, the business secrets can be maintained easily. Business secrets are important to a small business, as sole trader is the only person who knows business secrets, and he is not forced to disclose his secrets with outsiders. So business secrets can be kept confidential here in that case of sole proprietor. Personal contact with customers. Now sole proprietor only purchasing the raw material or converting into finished goods, or directly the products he is selling to the customers directly. So customer relation, customer taste is important to know in the business. So according to the customer taste only we have to provide the products to the customers. So here, as the single sole trader directly dealing with he know the taste of the customers, so he can provide the goods which are required to the customers. So what will happen here, maintenance of business, personal contact with the customers helps the business to encourage. Disadvantages of the sole proprietorship. Now limited resources are there, as the sole trader only investor, so the resources are very less here. Because of this limited resource, he did not get the cost benefit, that means discount. If you purchase the goods in a bulk quantity, what will happen, if we purchase in a bulk quantity, we will get the discount. So it will help into the reduction of the cost and increase the profit. In case of it, this will happen in the partnership. So but it is not possible here because of the limited resources, he is purchasing the goods by himself only. So the cost is increases. As the cost is increases of the product, then if the competitors are there in the market, so the profit will be reduced here. Unlimited liability. Unlimited liability means if he is getting the loss of the business, then he has to pay the debt to the outsiders. So liability means the amount which has to be paid to the outsiders at the time of winding up of the business. So what will happen, if the resources are limited here and it is not sufficient to pay the debt, so his personal property is affected here. This is called as unlimited liability of the sole trader. Limited managerial ability. A single person is taking care of everything. So financial resources, apart from his low financial resources and small business size, restrict the sole trader from hiring the professional manager. He cannot hire the professional managers in the business. So what is happened, limited managerial ability is there in the sole trader business. Now next is lack of continuity. In the joint stock company, what will happen there, the shareholders are different and the company legal entity is different. So even though anything happened to the shareholder, the business will be continued in the joint stock company. But here lack of continuity is there, because only the single person is handling the whole business. If he gets sick or he dies, then what will happen? The business will be closed there. So continuity will be not possible in the case of sole trader of business, and not suitable for large scale operation. Here the resources are very less in the case of sole proprietor business. So because of this, large scale operation is not possible here. If large scale operation is not possible here, then what will happen? The cost will increases and the profit will reduce. Managerial expertise cannot be function here in the case of sole proprietor business. Wrong decisions. If only single person is taking the decision, so maybe he is not perfect in all the areas of the business. Finance department, production department, selling department, like the different areas of the business will be there. No, so wrong decisions can be possible in any area, will affect the whole business. So a sole proprietor is the only person who takes all the business decision, so may not be expert in all the aspects. So there is a chance of making wrong decision which result in the business loss. So ultimately it affects on the business. So these are the drawbacks of the or the disadvantages of a sole proprietor.